Hey y'all, welcome back to Twin Oaks Family Farm, and thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel, Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. Headed out to the meat chicken barn. No meat chickens right now. A couple of the guys are back out here working on trucks. So actually going to look at a 92 Dodge. Thought we'd share with you a little project they're doing with it. We mentioned in a previous video that they were working on changing the ignition switch. Pardon me. It had been push button when our oldest son got this truck, and he uses it like a daily driver truck, but it had been, someone had put a push button ignition in it, and he wanted to put it back to a key switch. So working on it. So a couple of the other trucks around, we've introduced y'all previously to, that was a 91 first gen Dodge sitting over there. We called her Betty Pickup, and so now Betty Pickup was a daily driver till a couple weeks ago. Now she isn't, as you can see. And so our middle son had his heart set on rebuilding Betty. She kind of had some restoration work previously. It was a very nice truck when he got her, and had his heart set on rebuilding her after she had got bruised up and beaten up there. But he's leaning towards maybe not. So he actually had replaced it for a daily driver with this second gen here. And we're finding that he's got some things salvageable and useful off of Betty Pickup, and kind of working out neat that some of the things that are salvageable off of her are useful on this other truck. So this is a 92, so first gen Dodge. These have the 12 valve Cummins in them, and I know we don't have great lighting in the chicken barn. My deepest apologies for that, but we make do. But my husband and oldest son are out here working on, we call this one Gray Pearl, and they've got some things going under the hood here. So wondered, Jared, if y'all would tell us what you are working on and what kind of progress you've made, because we knew you were trying to switch from the push button ignition back to what would have been a factory, like a
key switch.
So what's up?
Well, what we found out with tracing wires and figuring out where the wires go to neutral safety switches and that, what we figured out was the neutral safety switch was bad, and so kind of figured that previous owner, instead of replacing the neutral safety switch, they bypassed it and just put a button switch in. And you know, it worked, but it's just nice to have things kind of factory, you know, not what I would call cobbled. So so we traced wires and figured out that it was bad, and put a jumper to make the circuit keep going, and we figured out that this wire right here was just cut, and it goes into a relay. So when you turn the switch on, the power goes through the neutral safety switch, then out here to this relay, and then it comes into this is your starter wire. And so what we're working on now is getting it to, we can hook it up to the starter, and it should.
Are you able to point to the starter? Like, can we see where that is?
Clear down in there.
Oh, we can't really see it then. Okay.
But just
but that wire will go to it.
Yeah, run this wire down there and put it on the pole that goes for your power on your switch, or for your starter to kick in from your switch, and so it should work with the key switch. So you have what you need for it to be a key switch installed in there now? Yeah. So what Owen done,
how did you do that?
Well, what Owen done was the key switch was the one that was in there was a little bit loose, so he ended up getting a new key switch, and he's got it installed.
He had to buy that at a parts store?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he bought it online.
Okay.
And so then that's where we started in, just tracing wires and trying to find, you know, to make it work like factory would. And
so was there a component off of the 91 Dodge over there that y'all used on this
The
for
only
this
thing,
project or not?
The only thing that we used was the wiring harness in the 91. It's an automatic, and so there's what they done. There's no, of course, no neutral safety switch in for a clutch because it's an automatic. So that wire.
You're referring to transmission.
What they done there was they took a jumper wire from factory. It was a factory jumper wire, and put in that connector. So I just took the connector apart, took that jumper wire, and plugged it into this one. So I think so now we figured out that neutral safety switch is bad. Owen's going to get one, and we're going to put it in and make that right to where what that does is you have to push the clutch in before you start it. That way it won't just start and go. And you know, because if somebody don't understand a clutch, they can get in, hit the key, and if it starts and it's in gear, it's going to either run over somebody or run into something, or
so that's a danger.
Yeah.
So you want the neutral safety switch to give you the opportunity to not have that roll away happen.
That way that don't happen.
Yeah.
So, and which is it's a good thing to have on there.
So that's a component we don't have. He's got to go get. You fasten it into where? Where does that go?
Well, it's on your clutch rod.
Inside the cab?
Yeah, in the cab.
Okay.
On the clutch rod.
Okay.
And
so then after you put the neutral safety switch on, then what? You can hook all this up and...
Well, we're going to already hook it up. We've got that jumper wire. So we're going to go ahead and hook it up and see if it'll start.
Yeah.
And know that that's right. And then we'll put the neutral safety switch in and go from there.
So will you tell us what the engine is?
It's a 12 valve.
But anything else about it that...
No, it's just a
nice or
just
good.
a 5.9 12 valve.
And we like these, right?
Yeah, they're very durable. Very durable. Very good motors.
Yeah. Hey, Owen, you want to give us a hello? Are you back there somewhere?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can see him. We are going to get a good view. Hey, Owen. So, incidentally, though, I mentioned about, we're finding that there's maybe some components off of Betty that, of course, Wade's going to want to keep. And maybe he could reuse in a truck in the future if he decides to salvage Betty. But also, our youngest son is talking about looking at a truck too. And he actually found one that is in pretty good shape, except it needs an A-arm. And Jared, was there an A-arm off of Betty that was good?
It needs a driver's side A-arm.
So Betty's passenger side A-arm is shot, but the driver's side A-arm is good. So if our youngest son goes and looks at this other truck that needs a driver's side A-arm, he'd be in good shape getting it off of Wade, right?
Yeah, it should be.
So at any rate, so it's it's just trucks around here, but they really like the first gen Dodge trucks. We like the second gen Dodge trucks also, but there's a lot more instance of the bodies rusting on those for us where we live, right, guys?
Yeah, you get
just
different years.
So sometimes it's kind of like red flag, stay away from them. But actually, this one that Whale found to replace Betty, I mean, it seems pretty good, and it's a second gen, so.
Yeah, it's the last year.
But of course, it's got a steel bed already, and that's where we would have had it rust a lot, was in the bed, right?
But it's the last year of the 12 valve P pump motor. It's a 98.5, but that truck right there has over 400,000 miles on it, and it runs really good.
And she's still rolling.
Yeah, it starts
So
good.
we don't know what its handle is yet. Wade hadn't said. We're going to wrap this one up. Thanks for joining us in the Meatbird Barn. Join us again at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. We appreciate you. We hope all your chicken dinners are winners.